Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I want to cover just a few little topics, specifically what is Tumbril, the Caterpillar module confusion, the amount of star systems at launch, and PvP stuff. All things that were discussed in various places this week, whether it be Reddit or on the forums or Spectrum or wherever. So what is Tumbril? There was basically a lore post confirming that Tumbril is a brand or company. The article describes Devco, a purchasing group, buying Titus Tools, which is a failing construction equipment manufacturer, but that Devco had previously bought the Tumbril brand as well. So there's been lots of teasers and talk about Tumbril. What is Tumbril? Like, there was whiteboards of Benelestic in the background and that sort of stuff. And these teasers have come at the same time as them announcing the Cyclone concept sale, which is coming this Friday, and it's not hard to assume that it's the manufacturer or something to do with the brand of that Cyclone buggy for that concept cell. There are only 5 options or variants of the vehicle as well, that Cyclone buggy, with prices ranging from $45 all the way up to $70, though there are likely to be packs and war bond sales as well, so you might be able to buy multiple modules in a pack. I'm not sure if it's going to be modular or variant based, but we'll have to wait and see. But Tumbril, it's a company of some description, very likely to be the company that produces the Cyclone buggy. Caterpillar modules. So there seems to have been some confusion over the amount of modules that you can have on a Caterpillar. A dev said during a ATV featurette that you could possibly potentially have 15 modules or something like that, or someone inferred that 15 modules were a possibility. Basically, when he was creating the derelicts, he said there could be loads of modules on a Caterpillar when they placed them. That's not the case, though, and Tyler Nolan clarified the situation. Hey everyone, allow me to clarify the Caterpillar modules and how they work. The Caterpillar was always designed to consist of an array of modules, 4 of which are universal, the body ones, and 1 nose module. It was never designed or built to add or reduce the number of modules that it can have, basically. So it's always going to have 4 body modules and 1 nose module. The intent of the developer speaking on ATV was to help illustrate how derelicts handle ship modularity. He could, in theory, add or reduce the modules to a Caterpillar to make a unique derelict site. So that was what the official things was. Yeah, it's just a slip of the tongue, and there's lots of potential setups and stuff they could do. That said, I actually think that we know that there are going to be loads of different modules to the Caterpillar. It's supposed to be one of the most modular ships in the game. And it's possible that there's 15 of them in total. If you consider the nose modules and the different body modules, there might have just been a bit of confusion there and a slip of the tongue. 15 might be too many, but you know what I mean. There's going to be loads of modules. The Caterpillar is of a fixed length, though. They do not intend for it to be super long. Systems at launch. So there was a bit of controversy around a GameStar article recently. Specifically, the article said that CIG are aiming for 5 to 10 systems at launch now. Now, previously stated, and this is before planetary procedural tech was even considered for the game, we know that CIG were considering between like 50 and 100 at launch. So CIG have plans for 100 to 120 plus star systems in total, and we know each of those systems is going to have a large amount of gameplay, potentially hundreds of hours on each moon and planet. In 3.0, we're getting about a quarter of a star system around Crusader to play. So in the Stanton system, a quarter of that system literally just around Crusader. Originally, plans for a large amount of systems at launch were there, but that was previously to that planetary landing tech being implemented. Now these systems, these star systems, need loads more work as they have these very bespoke planets with flora, fauna, potentially cities, all that sort of stuff to actually be worked on there, and a lot more gameplay, a huge amount more gameplay. It's very much possible that there will be more systems at launch that we need to discover. So they can have 10 systems at launch, but a few hidden ones. Or missions and time will open up more systems. For example, you might have to reclaim a system from the Vandal before it opens up more systems, and then that leads on to more and more and more. So that might proceed at... well, we don't know how rapidly they intend to release systems after the game's release, but my expectation that the main focus straight after the game's release will be on getting those systems done, getting new planets done, getting new systems done, with a secondary focus on items, weapons and ships, as well as probably some more characters and aliens and fauna as well and stuff like that. So potentially we could see multiple new systems each month, but it's not going to be liked on game content, that's for sure. Even if it just had 5 systems at launch, you're not going to be liked on game content. It's not going to be like, well, I'm done with Star Citizen now, there's nothing left to do. It's going to be a massive MMO experience, and there's going to be a lot there. PvP. So there was a highly upvoted post on the Star Citizen Reddit from Captain Silas talking about PvP. The too long didn't read version being, most players will kill each other, even if there are no rewards or heavy punishments for doing so. So basically what they're saying there is, even an unforgiving permadeath system will incentivize killing other players, not deter it. And that players will kill players. Some players are just dicks. I'd like to throw my 2 cents in here. Star Citizen is going to have that permadeath system, which could be favourable to lawful citizens that randomly get murdered in safe areas. In fact, I hope CIG do actually adopt that, meaning that, in my head, if you're a lawful citizen in what you believe is a safe area, and you get murdered by someone ramming you because they're griefing or whatever, that you don't get treated too harshly, and your insurance will cover you very well, so you got like a tiny loss, and it doesn't really count as one of your lives with the permadeath system. It's all still being fleshed out at the moment, though, and this is the sort of stuff that all open development's about. We get our say, we get our 2 cents or our input, and hopefully those systems evolve. Star Citizen is going to have a reputation system, an insurance system, and a criminality system, as well as security patrols to help deter killings and PvP attacks in certain areas. But some players are just going to be dicks and want to murder. Now, those people being dicks aren't necessarily griefers. They just might want to be mad pirates or whatever. And this is the thing, some areas are going to be pretty safe. The PvP murder everyone players won't be able to run wild in every system, as security will hunt them down or kill them immediately upon entering a system. And it's very possible that everyone turns up with like a really, really high level of I murdered everyone, will get a most wanted alert to all players in the system once those hostile players appear, like we do in Crusader at the moment in 2.6.3. In fact, it's much more about the other party, in my opinion. It's much more about the lawful player. If you put yourself in a situation where you could be attacked and you don't have escorts, yeah, players are going to rob you. Some players might want just to murder you because they're dicks, if you're weaker than them. If you have a small ship and they have a big ship, and you turn up and you can't get away, they might just murder you because you might have been carrying something. Or just because they want to add another kill to their roster. They're not going to be able to get into a huge amount of areas, though, those players that want to kill. So they're not going to be able to get into every system. As soon as they are registered as a murder, they're going to have that criminality like state. So if you go into a dangerous area or a system, though, you do run the risk of getting attacked, and you do run that higher risk of losing stuff. Piracy and PvP are very, very valid ways of playing the game. If handled correctly by CIG as gameplay mechanics, it will enrich gameplay for everyone, giving tension, missions, emergent gameplay, and you don't want it. Okay, so if it's handled incorrectly, it's going to be GTN space with losses with the value of Eves. That is not something you want. You don't want tens of thousands of dollars worth of losses in a GTA kind of type environment. It's very much something that CIG will work on with the community to have the best possible gameplay for all types of player. Griefing, however, should be prevented in every way possible, and exploits to ruin the games not tolerated. This, however, is not piracy or legitimate PvP. It's up to a mixture of us and CIG to make sure griefing is as hard to do as possible, and that we give feedback on each of the persistent universe patches. Every time it gets patched, every time we see griefing, whatever, we give our feedback on that. Now, a lot of people do see PvP or piracy as griefing. It's not. Totally different thing. In general, Star Citizen's community is typically an older age range of gamers, so hopefully that will do something to sate their bloodlust and not have it as that sort of like GTA environment. Although GTA environments are quite fun, but each to their own. I'll play GTA if I want to play GTA. In the future, space will be dangerous. Hire escorts, fly with friends or an org, be aware of pirates and dangerous locations and systems, and be aware of where attacks are happening. For players that are randomly killed or for no reason, I do expect that insurance and permadeath system will be much more lenient to them, or at least I hope it is. It makes sense for it. Every month, we try to give away a ship. For July, it's a Nox Q. All you need to do is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my Star Citizen videos during the month. Do you have any questions for me about anything we talked about Alpha 3.0 or Star Citizen's development in general? A special thank you to my Patreons who allow me to create the amount of content I do. I can't words. If you're interested in becoming one of them, then link below to Patreon as well as everything else we've talked about. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me. And I will see you in the verse.